Welcome to LeagueGaming.com and the YouTube channel. Tonight, a game of the week that wasn't expected to be a game of the week. It is the Syracuse Crunch and the Rochester Americans with Game 6 tonight and a possible Game 7 if the Crunch can push it to the final game. Hi everyone, T-Sibs with you. We are back here unexpectedly tonight with a couple of games going on, and it has been an interesting day to say the least. A lot has happened. Obviously, a lot of you folks know about what happened with Syracuse having to forfeit a couple of games in this series. They had beaten Syracuse 4-1, but wound up having to forfeit both games that Inbound 24 had played. And so, because of that, Rochester is up 3-2. Games 6 and a possible Game 7 tonight. Should Syracuse win, game number 6 are going to take place, and game 6 will be getting going shortly in a few minutes, and we're going to, before that happens, going to give you an interview that I did a little while ago with King and Axkull, who run the Syracuse Crunch team, and we got a chance to talk to them a little bit about what happened with their team and what they're doing for tonight's game. Talking to King Khan and Axkull here for the Syracuse Crunch, who now have to play a Game 6 tonight, and hopefully for them a Game 7 as well. Guys, obviously the big news that everyone knows about is the banning of Inbound, who played 2 games for you this series, 2 wins, and so instead of having a 4-1 series victory, you now find yourselves down 3-2. Talk to me about, we'll start off with you, King. Talk to me first about when you found this all out. What was your initial reaction to all of it? And I mean, obviously, we know some of what your reaction is, but be as graphic as you like. Talk about how you felt.
I literally walked into work, and I look at my phone. I was like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me!" Like everybody was blowing me up. Hey, the Bogs are looking for you. Get into a fucking literally didn't even fucking do anything, change nothing. Jump into a party with Pounder, and he's like, "Hey, bro, just want to let you know this is what happened," and and he was super cordial about it. And then I'm okay with it. Like, I hate when guys like this can ruin a league for a lot of players.
Sure.
And so for me, it was more of the fact of how do I break this to the guys without the entire team imploding, right?
Right.
Like, I've been through a lot of adversity in my life, so I can deal with adversity. It doesn't bother me one bit, but
Sure.
A lot of these guys haven't. And so when they get, something that's out of the norm thrown in their face, they freak out, right? So breaking into the team, I think, was the hardest thing, and calming the flames. I've spent the last day and a half on my knees pretty much sucking off the play because he took 2 losses with the forfeits. So it's been a super interesting time. I'm still trying to figure out, because I got to call the player up to complete my roster.
Right.
Trying to figure out what salary cap I have, which players count towards my roster, which players don't. Don't want to call up a player, then come win, and then find out, they get overturned because we're over the cap.
Right.
So that's kind of where we're at right now, which is fun.
And Axe, what I'm sure you've talked to some of the other guys on the team to this point. What's is it the general what the fuck basically from everybody on your team?
Yeah, no doubt. But we told them there's nothing we can do. We just got to keep pushing forward, and most people seem on board. And yeah, we're just gonna have to battle through tonight and force Game 7. And I think we can do it for sure.
Now, obviously, you weren't planning on playing these games, so there's part of the problem is no one, maybe people have things going on tonight that they weren't expecting to play a game, so it can be a little bit of a problem trying to find people. That's one issue, and then the other issue is getting guys to not be pissed off about now being behind in the series and just get their mind on playing hockey. So how do you, how do you go about, picking who's going to play tonight, and how's the general attitude been about having to play?
Go for it. Go for it.
Obviously, for the Game 7, we want to have our 6 best available, right? And I feel like for the most part we do. So There was one player, a few players there, here and there, that weren't exactly happy with it, but we were able to convince them and get them in a positive mindset. So, yeah,
Right.
we're just gonna roll with it. There's nothing else we can really do, right? It is
Game
what it
six,
is.
yeah, game 6, we really don't have much say so, right? It's got to be the players that haven't played yet.
That lineup's decided already, so yeah.
But you've got Zilla, and you got great Zilla in net. He's been really solid for you this season.
That's our horse right there.
Yeah, so I mean, that and your defense. Tomic's played well as well. Banjo Boy's been around for a while. Another good veteran presence back there. What do you wind up doing in this game? Do you play more defensively against these guys because they finally have an opportunity to close out a series they thought they were dead in, or do you just play the game that this line of Cold Killer, Feeney, and LaFleur are used to playing, and the defense does their job? Is there any way that you attack this game a little differently tonight?
Well, to be honest with you, since me and Axe took over, like, our approach has been a team defense first, right? Like, you're not gonna win fucking game 7-3. Like, those games, leave that to fucking Iowa and Manitoba, right? We're gonna win the 1-goal games. And to win the 1-goal games, you got to play team defense.
When we're comfortable in 1-goal games.
The guys are used to it. It's been like that all seasons, well, at least since we taken over. So we preach that from the beginning. A big advocate of that, of course, is our, one of our best players, Billy. He's got us on a team defense first, and it's worked very well.
He's always preaching it.
And it makes sense, right? Like, we've played against these top teams too in club, not just in LG games, but in club, and we hang with them. We've given them a hard time. We've had close games. Yep. It's all about team structure, right? And so that's what it comes down to, and that's been our biggest battle, is getting everybody on that same page to play that structured defense, right? Cover that player that's chasing, right? If we can cycle in the defensive zone like we cycle in the offensive zone, we're gonna be on the positive side most nights.
And so you're pretty much gonna try and play the game that you typically would play, and that got you to this point, I'm assuming.
That's exactly right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And again, you've got to win 2 tonight. Both games are getting played tonight. Is your availability of your team pretty good, or you got guys missing that?
After the initial shock, right? After the initial shock, everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Right? Of course, like, that's going to be your initial reaction. But I want to say we gave it about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think everybody kind of settled down, and I think the first thing was, okay, let me make sure that the 6 guys that are in game 6 that I know can be there and be available. And I think after that initial shock wore off, they were all in and ready to go and ready to take it to them. Right? They're gamers. They're in it to win it. So they're not here to, lick wounds and shit. Yeah, they're not just gonna throw in the towel.
All right, guys. Well, listen. Best of luck tonight for Game 6, and good luck, and hopefully we wind up for your guys' sake calling a Game 7 tonight. But good job at least trying to get everybody back on board tonight and playing these games and not pitching a fit over it. I think you guys, I think King, you said it yourself, and you were being honest. The league did what they needed to do, and you guys have to live with it.
And, like, honestly, it could have been way worse, Sibs. Like, if you really think about it and how they've done things in the past, they've gone all the way back to regular season, right? Like, they didn't. They cut it off at the playoffs, right? If they go back and overturn all of his games, you know how many teams that affects and what that does? Like, there'll be teams in the playoffs that weren't even in the playoffs, and so I like the way the league handled it. They handled it immediately as soon as they found out the information. They waited and lingered and lingered. They did it right away, right? So I was really satisfied with the way the league handled it, especially with me and Axe, with the team initially. Right. And, respect to Six for being on top of it with us and going through this process with us and being super cordial. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. First time I've been through anything like this, but we were pushing our team to get through this, and hopefully we can pull out a couple W's tonight and move on to second round, put it behind us.
All right, guys. Thanks. I appreciate it. King and Axe, good luck tonight.
No problem.
Talk to you guys
You got
later.
it.
Later.
All right, buddy.
There's King and Axe with us on the pregame, and the game has now just started. Game 6 underway as a shot on Great Zilla is a save. Now coming back the other way is Syracuse. Trip there is going to get called. We'll see whether or not the Crunch can do anything with this. Atomic now has it. On the right, D swings it around. Still a delayed penalty. Banjo over to Cold Killer. He tries to get a shot off, or at least a pass. Not able to, but the play is stopped, and a penalty getting called here on this. Just underway here. 4 minutes into the first period of Game 6. No score. T-Sibs with you, and we may have King on in a little bit. And also we'll probably hear about 6-9 after the game. And one way or another we'll hear from him to at least congratulate him or talk to him about his strategy in Game 7. Play in front now as the Americans get a couple of shots on net. Good saves by Great Zilla. You heard King talk about how phenomenal he's been for them. Now an offside on that play. Zilla has been a rock for these guys in net. And it's when you get something like that happening, certainly at playoff time, it is absolutely tremendous when you get that kind of play out of your goaltender. Killer throws one in, right corner. BC throws it out, now taken back by the defense of Syracuse. Feeney. Poke checked off by Death Machine. Nice play there. Now a 2-on-1 develops with Death on the left. Shot is off the post, and the Amercs get it back. Good try by Death Machine to get something going there. He gets it back. He tries to hold on to it. Feeney poke checks it away. Puck still not out of the zone, but Syracuse fighting hard on defense, trying to get it out of their own zone. Good forechecking again by Rochester. A steal on this play. Now back to the point. Shot is blocked by Feeney. And finally the puck out of the zone as we reach the halfway point of the first period. Again, no score. Americans and Crunch here. Game 6 with Americans now up 3-2 in this series, as we mentioned. And if you hadn't heard and you're just listening now, the Crunch needing to forfeit 2 games because of a suspension and banning of inbound with multiple tags. Pass in front. Good opportunity there. Feeney now tries to get a pass in front. Doesn't connect and comes back the other way for Rochester. So the series now 3-2 in favor of Rochester, and they are trying to close out here in Game 6 and find themselves alive out of nowhere in this one. Feeney up to the Fleur. Killa. Spin move, not able to connect on it. Puck pushed out, now comes back the other way. It looked like DeBrin may have been a little early on that play and offside. This might be a bit of a tight game. Just never know how guys are going to react after all that. You know, your mindset is not there to play a game, and all of a sudden you find yourself having to play 1, maybe 2 tonight, and you're wound down thinking you're out of the playoffs. And some of the guys who wound down thinking they are going on to the next round and find themselves needing to win 2 games to get back there. Left side, under 4 minutes left to go in the first period. Cold Killer. LaFleur, backhander in front. Nice save by Westside Hockey, and he holds. Westside and Great Zilla, good goaltending matchup tonight. Both of them have been incredibly successful this season. And it was certainly a lot of good goaltending in this season. And Westside and Zilla, again, formidable for their teams. We're not surprised to see Westside play well. And he has been certainly a big reason why the Rochester Americans did so well this season. Syracuse wins the face-off. 2 minutes left to go in the first. Feeney looking for Cold Killer, can't find him. Good play broken up by Death Machine. Now again, LaFleur tries to get over to the left defenseman can't find Banjo Boy. Now he'll pick it up and try and move out. 10 seconds left. One more opportunity for the Crunch. Play in front, but not a good clean shot on net. As the last second ticks down, an errant shot not able to be made. And so we are done with one period, and we have no score. You see the shots on goal. Americans 3, Syracuse 2. Teams look a little bit tight in the early going here, and certainly not surprised considering how desperate this game is for both teams. The Americans with second life here, and the Crunch. We talked a little bit about it in the pregame show. King mentioned his guys were furious. A lot of them didn't necessarily want to play again, but you get past the initial anger and you want to prove yourself the way you did before. And unfortunately, this team has to do it again. They've got to go out there and win 2 games to prove they belong here. As we start the second period now, good pass out front. Nice play. Good slide to the left side by Greatzilla, making a good save on a point-blank shot by DeBrin. Face-off won again by the Crunch. Banjo starts it out to LaFleur. Killer looking. LaFleur behind the net, tries to get it out front, can't find Feeney. Picked up again by Banjo. Now in front for Feeney, gets off a shot. Good save, partially blocked, but good save by Westside. Still being controlled. And now out by the Americans. Poke check by Atomic Storm, gets the Crunch back into possession. Lead pass up for Feeney is broken up, and now Rochester back quickly. Good quick shot on net, but not able to follow up with a opportunity. Now another save and a third save by Zilla. And now the Americans on the attack here. And finally kicked out, and now come back the Crunch. Killer shot, wrist shot on net. Good save by Westside. Now another play opportunity there, almost getting the pass to LaFleur, but not able to connect. Good try by Feeney, and Crunch will start over again. Backhander flipped in by Feeney into the right corner. Feeney came back to help out. Almost got full possession of it. Now comes back the other way, Death Machine. And now up to 6. Puck poked off his stick by Banjo Boy. Now lead out to the middle for Feeney. He flips into the left side. Killer tries to control, gets it off his stick. Now the Americans start out the other way, flip it behind the net. We're halfway through this game, no score yet. Both teams a couple of decent opportunities, but not a lot of offense just yet. Not just by the score, but by the opportunities as well. Syracuse back. Another dangerous flip out front. Banjo's done that a couple of times and gotten away with it. LaFleur on the right side behind the net. Tries a wrap. Can't. Westside is there and holds. Crunch win the face-off. Keep it in. Good play by Banjo Boy. Killer tries to get on a backhand. That goes nowhere. Good save by Westside. Now the Americans back the other way. Buck played in the corner. Double teamed. A nice defensive play and a good check on Death Machine. And Zilla are able to hold on there. A good shot by Death. And on a double team to loosen the puck off of Atomic Storm, but then gets railed on the side of the net. And Zilla holds on to the loose rebound. Now back the other way, the Crunch. Pass in the corner. Killer has it. Loses it off his stick. DeBrin helping back on defense. Good play there by the center. No icing on that play, and the Crunch trying to get it out. Puck is loose, flips up in the air. Back to the point. Shot, good save off of BC's shot from the left side. Now Banjo trying to start it up. Will this be icing? Yep. Tried to get a pass up there for Cold Killer, but can't connect with him. And so now, again, face off deep in the Syracuse zone. Back to the point. Bean can't find 6 over there, and now puck out in the neutral zone. Brought back in. Turned around, and Syracuse just able to get it out. DeBrin trying to reset the offense, flips it up. Nobody there for him. Banjo Boy controls, tries to get it in the center for Feeney, but can't connect with him. Now back the other way. Quick shot on net, turned aside quickly by Zilla. Another shot. Puck is loose and covered up by Zilla. Good opportunity there. Death Machine able to put one on net, but not able to connect. Last seconds tick off. Shot goes wide of the net. Now controlled by Banjo Boy, and he holds it to the end of the period. And 2 have gone by. We have no scores here. With the shots on goal, you see the Americans 11-6. They've had the better of the play. And this one is perhaps still a bit tighter than we figured. And the question is anyone going to take a chance, or is this going to be more of a defensive fallback, let's not make a mistake kind of period coming up? We'll see if the Crunch feel like they need to press it or not. But both teams have played well. You don't need a ton of scoring for this game to be interesting. And this is a damn interesting game with it being 0-0. And the way they play and the way that both of these teams have strategized to this point. We head to the third period now. And the next goal may be a very big one in this game. LeFleur. Back to the point to Atomic. Can't find him. Now a 2-on-1 partial breakout. DeBrin gets a pass over, and now it is a beautiful shot by Death Machine to put the Americans on the board in the first period. Unassisted goal by Death, they're saying. And that opens up the scoring with the Americans going on top here. And another opportunity deep in the zone. Another shot from the point, blocked by Atomic Storm, now out the other way. Partial 2-on-1 coming that way. Pass by Feeney back to Cole Killer, does not connect, and that opportunity goes by. Now the Americans again, 6-9 with a shot. Turned aside by Zilla, now back the other way, Cole Killer. Shot on net. Feeney with an attempt on a deflect, not able to do it. Another backhander is saved, and now Americans out the other way. This could be an icing call. And Syracuse now forced to answer here. Killer with the face-off win. Trying to do something with it, not able to get a shot on net, and puck just cannot be kept in. Crunch start again. Good quick shot on net by LeFleur. Now back to the point. Deflection, good try by Feeney, but Westside positioned well there. Puck out in front, taking the side. Now the Americans come out with it. DeBrin working it. Pass on net. Shot on net, sorry. And Zilla with the save. Looked like DeBrin was looking for a rebound of some kind, just didn't work out. Again, another win, another face-off win for the Crunch. They start out. LeFleur on the right side. Feeney behind the net. Tries to do a wrap, can't get it. Now still working behind the net. 6 helps out defensively. Puck trying to get cleared out. Good play by LeFleur to intercept it, but can't get a shot off, and now back the other way. Looks like that's 6-9 with the puck. Gets a shot off, but good save by Zilla. We're under 10 minutes now. Halfway through the third. The Americans with a 1-0 lead, and Syracuse pushing now. Good play to keep that puck in. Good pass over to the point. Bean could not get the shot on net, and so it comes back the other way. Golden opportunity to really make this a tough game for Syracuse. as they try and get something going. Puck out of the zone now. Americans start back the other way. 6'9", tries to get past the defense, can't. Now Feeney looking to get up to LaFleur if he can. Gets a shot on net. Puck almost scoots under West Side, but he holds on. Timeout looks like it's being called here right now, and it is an opportunity here for Syracuse to maybe regroup and figure out what they're going to do. You see the time on attack's been in favor of Syracuse, but the Americans have waited nicely, still gotten 15 shots on net, more than Syracuse with their 11, with having more than 3 minutes less time on attack in this game. So good strategy that's worked out so far by the Americans. They've played defensively. They relied on their goaltender to make the initial saves. They stopped rebounds, and then they took their opportunities when they had it. And so far, it's worked for them. Shot blocked, rebound, good chance there by Feeney. But again, West Side positioned nicely right there in the center of the net, and he'll hold another face-off. You see 12 saves so far for West Side. Cold. LaFleur tries to keep it in. He can't. Now Banjo with it back. We're hitting a 5-minute mark left to go in the third period. Syracuse trying to make some quick passing here. LaFleur brings it in. Looks to force it into Feeney, but he can't. Puck is broken up. Good play by Feeney. And now looks like there's just going to be an offside. Thought there might be a slashing call on that one, but does not happen. And so Syracuse, 3:39 left to go in the clock here. Can they pull it off? Cold killer. Play is bunched up there. Now the puck in front of the net. Pushed aside. Thought Feeney might have a chance to do something with it there, but he couldn't out. Now Rochester coming out the other way. DeBrin. Puck is loose in the slot. Now poked out. Feeney gets it. Cold killer. I think he was waiting. I think he thought that LaFleur might be offside. He pulled back, and then Feeney wound up being way offside. Minute and a half left to go. Feeney looking for somebody. Under a minute. Feeney behind the net. Tries the wrap. Can't get it. LaFleur can't get the rebound. Cold killer stops the puck from going out. Now back to Feeney behind the net. He gets hit. Puck is still loose. Fought for it. LaFleur has it. Shot on net. Good save by West Side. So far, West Side Hockey has made all the big saves that he has to keep his team in this and keep it at a shutout right now. And another timeout being called. And this has been a game that maybe one of the better games we've seen so far in the playoffs. Death Machine with the one goal. I believe that's who this went to. It might have been Death or Six. They're wearing the same numbers. Might have gotten mixed up on that. We'll try and straighten that out for you when we see the stats at the end. But Death Machine, we believe, got that unassisted goal at 1:15 of the third period to make it 1-0. That's where we stand. 40.4 seconds left to go in this one. Puck gets cleared out. Now Banjo tries to get it in, but still too many players offsides there. Syracuse wins the faceoff. 30 seconds left to go in the third period. Play in front, puck is loose, almost squirts past West Side.
Big hit.
That was a heck of a play. That was a nice play there to stop that one from happening. And you cannot.
By the defensive work.
Now face-off, 23 seconds left to go. Americans win it, move it out, clear it down. It's going to be an icing. Needed to get past that red line to try and kill some more time, and it just did not happen. Now the face-off one, Rochester trying to get it out again. Now puck is cleared out. 6 seconds left to go. Well, maybe one last chance. Cold Killer up on the left side with 3, 2. Can he get a shot off? It's deflected, blocked away, and the Rochester Americans will now advance, win this game 1-0 on a great game in net by Westside Hockey, and a good game all around by both teams. But Westside making some tremendous saves and doing a heck of a job. And yeah, it was Death Machine who wound up getting the winning goal here in this one,
twice on that side,
unassisted. So that is just a great play there that Death Machine scored on. Good hustle by him on that one. And as you see, 14 saves by Westside in this one. 14 on the side for Great Zilla. Good goaltending in both of this one. Both teams may have looked a little tight. But again, some really good play leading to a great win by the Rochester Americans. And boy, I tell you what, just an interesting finale here that we get to watch, and nice play by both teams. They put up a kind of game that you really want to see in these playoffs. And we'll just take a look at the stats again as 6-9 has them up for us to look at. But again, we're going to try and get 6-9 on here shortly. All the accolades to the Syracuse Crunch for coming out and playing this game and trying their damnedest. Everybody out there on the ice tonight for the Crunch deserve plenty of praise for being out there and playing this game. And certainly after what happened, you got to be incredibly angry about that. But they went out there, they played, they didn't just throw their sticks out there. They gave a damn about what they were doing, and they put on a good show for all of us. And Rochester had just one opportunity that they were able to take advantage of and win this game with that goal from Death Machine at 1:15 of the third period, an unassisted goal on a nice play, and we'll maybe try and get a chance to show you a replay of that later if we can. But the Americans now able to advance, and we'll get 6-9 on here as soon as he's ready to talk. And, I think he is just about ready now to talk, so we will try and get him on the call and talk to him here for a little bit. As we see the box score up there, and I think we may have 6-9 hooked up with us now. Buddy, you there? And maybe we don't have him just yet. We'll have to try him again. Let's see if I can get him again. But, again, you see the stats up there. 15 to 14 shots for the Americans. Certainly a good try. Syracuse, you see that, more than double time on attack. Passing about the same. Face-offs in favor of Syracuse. It just didn't translate into goals and into more opportunities. And so Syracuse just doing their damnedest to make something out of this and try desperately to get themselves back into this after being a winner 4-1 in this series and not able to do it. And just wind up on the outside now. Just one of the weirdest endings to a series that I think we'll ever see in LG. And we have 6-9 who's on with us now. And listen, congratulations. Yesterday you weren't thinking at all about playoffs, and you were probably done with thinking about LG. And today you find yourselves back in and into the next round. 6, you there? Yep, we hear him, but he doesn't hear me. We'll see if we can figure that out. And see if I can message him. Anyway, he's got to fix something here. Hopefully we'll get him on here in a second. But again, you look at the stats here. We saw the play. If you were watching the game with us, it was good opportunities there by Syracuse to try and get something going. 6, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I am here. I'm here.
There he is.
I am here. I don't even know what I am right now. Like, I just don't even know.
Hey, I was just saying, we yesterday you probably weren't even thinking about LG, and today
Yesterday,
now you're in
I was
you're in the
ready
next
for a
round.
break. Yeah. Yesterday I was ready for a break. Yeah, man. I'll tell you. I got wind of what was happening from one of my D-men BC who played tonight. He kind of was like, "Hey, have you seen this?" And I'm like, "No." And I started looking into it a little deeper. Anyway, long story short, got a PM from Pounder yesterday, and literally he said, "The LG gods are shining on you now." So it was one of those things like, you idiot, if you lose this fucking game, like, you might as well just retire.
Right.
So, but yeah, big ups to the Crunch, man. That is a shit situation to be in, and I feel for King. I feel for every single member of that team who had to go through something like this. This is something it's not fair to the guys that worked so hard all season to get there. And the drama that happened in Syracuse with Dudester and all that stuff. I mean, they've been through the ringer, and I know there's a couple people chirping in the shop box, but the bottom line is they came out to play. They played hard. They beat us, right?
Right.
They beat us fair and square, and a rules violation or a single idiot player ruined it for them. And I feel really bad for them, but I can only feel bad for so long, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand anybody who might be chirping either of these teams. Look, it is what it is. It's sad that it worked out that way, but you have to deal with whatever comes your way, and hats off. Like I said, hats off to Syracuse for a lot of those guys were pretty pissed off and didn't want to go out there and play again. They felt they won it, and rightly so. But it is what it is.
Right?
Yeah,
they did win it, and they won it fair and square. And well, fair is you can't really say fair and square. But as far as the play goes, right? They went out there, they played, they won.
Right.
Would it have been different if the guy with the second tag wasn't there the first two games? I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is that this feels really good after a first round exit last year, and then almost like 113-point season last year, 98 this year, and 2 first round exits. Like something, something. It went well for me. Something went well for me, and once again, it's crazy,
well
right?
for you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've had a rough season, right? Had a rough season as far as my forward play goes. I mean, I was 20-6 last season with Rockford on right D, 20-6, and to go to right wing. And anyway, I'm proud of my team, man. The resilience there, even in itself. Like when we found out that it was happening, these guys were ecstatic, right? I'm sure on the opposite end, Syracuse locker room was probably just super pissed, as I would have been. But our guys were stoked and happy, and basically just saying, go out there and win this thing. We don't want a game 7. Let's go. So we did it. My defense played phenomenal tonight. It was fun. It's fun.
Hey, we talked a little bit earlier today, and you were saying, and I don't know how much you want to talk about it, but you were saying that you were, you were a little concerned about whether or not you were going to be able to get everybody to show up for a game 7.
Yeah. I mean, that was early in the process, right? That was very early, but it's obviously, as a manager, it's a worry all day, every day, to have people show up, to get people to show up. But especially in this situation like that, where you're playing on an off day. I mean, for me, my center, DeBrin, he had, training to go to that he's scheduled on a Thursday. It's a Thursday. It's not a league day. So, we made it happen, and I did have my game 7 line ready to go. So that's a good thing. Some of them took them to their girlfriend's house, their PlayStations, and took PlayStations this way and that way. It just shows the dedication that the team puts in, and the guys have put in all year. And big ups to, again, every single person on my team, TC or not, guys I've traded. I played against 2 guys I traded on the trade deadline tonight in Banjo Boy and Feeney Kid.
Right.
I traded those two at the trade deadline to bring Primetime Fresh over, and so it was pretty crazy, right, to have to play against them.
Right. Yeah.
So, but it was a great series, and I feel for the Crunch, but I'm fucking fired up to move on. I'll tell you that.
So now you're getting past all this, and you probably weren't even thinking about, next round, because there wasn't a next round as far as you were concerned. Now you have to consider your next matchup, and Toronto has been bouncing back and forth with you guys in first and second all year long. You took over for a little bit, then they took it back. You're getting a second chance here to go up against these guys and maybe take this division in the end anyway. Going up against the Marlies, you know what you have to deal with, but do you feel like you're playing with house money right now just because you're at this point where you're here and maybe you don't feel as much pressure as if this had gone the way you would have typically thought it was going to go?
Yeah, I think it's it's a good story, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's it works. It's not necessarily how you want it to stay, or how you want it to go. It's not how you script it. But yeah, I would tell you that I would agree with that statement by playing on house money. We're here now. Like, let's just win the thing, man.
Right.
I am still kind of in loss for words. This whole thing, these last 2 days, going through it was pretty crazy. I've probably got 100 people message me like, what's going on? What's the deal? So, it feels really, really good. And now we just have to go out. The thing I like about our matchup with the Marlies better than the Crunch is that the Crunch was a team turned over at the trade deadline. They were a team turned over a couple times during the season, so you really didn't know. Mm-hmm. I know the Marlies, right? We've played the Marlies. We've watched tape on the Marlies. Sure. We know what we're doing against the Marlies, and I believe our record against the Marlies, I think we won the season games. I think we only lost one of them. I can't remember exactly. Mm-hmm. But what I do know is that we seem to play them better. So I'm excited about that. I mean, they're definitely not an easy team by any means, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that playing on house money, I like our chances. I do. I really like how it's turning out, and one game at a time from here on out. So
you have some. I think you've talked to me a little bit before about Toronto. And you probably have some strategies as how you want to deal with their lines. And let's face it, they were able to make some moves again. They brought Prod and Cred back. They put them together with Orioles, and that line has been incredibly solid to go along with the Deer Hunter, Soul, and Jay Morris line. Defense has been pretty solid. Fishy's been playing very good net lately. I'm assuming you've got some kind of strategy. I don't want you to obviously talk about it right now, but
and I won't. Yeah.
Does it change? Let me ask you this: does it change at all right now for the playoffs than maybe what you tried to do during the regular season?
No, maybe very, very little. A guy here, a guy there. Right. We lost our center. We had to call up a guy in Noof. Who actually has done a really, really great job for us overall. Maybe a few minor changes, maybe a couple guys swapping positions on some lines. We may, but for the most part, man, I know who I'm going to throw against what lines.
Right.
So, and I know it already. I knew it before the playoffs even started, and I've done it all season. So, now they have home ice advantage, right? So they get to see our cards the first two games. Mm-hmm. But we'll see how it goes. I think I've got a good recipe at this point for losing, so I'm hoping that it's I'm turning it around and figure out the right recipe for this series. So
once again, I mentioned a little bit in the post game before you came out, Syracuse doubling your time on attack, but the shots you guys with 15-14 against Syracuse, the numbers may look like Syracuse was on the attack a lot more. But it just seemed as though your plan was to not play a defensive shell, but play a little more defensive-minded. I liked what I saw out of DeBrin coming back and playing the center more, helping out in the middle. Looks like you guys clogged the middle and then tried to find your opportunities to release out to either yourself or on the other side. So Is that pretty much how you tried to play this one?
Yeah, we started off playing extremely aggressive, trying to get pucks on net. It wasn't working the first period. We felt we took a penalty early,
right.
I think. So we kind of found ourselves backpedaling. What we did like, though, is that we were getting pucks down below the net. And a lot of times their D-men were kind of shaky with the puck, right? They'd either shoot the puck up ice and ice it or whatever it may be. So basically what we did is just send 2 flyers into Bryn's like, I'm staying back. We cannot lose on a stupid 3-on-2. Because two wingers are down low fighting for the puck.
Right.
And so he just called it amongst himself, said, guys, I'm going to stay back. It's on you. And so then what we started to do is just trap them coming out because once again, we felt like their defense was a little bit antsy. Mm-hmm. So we played the trap game in the neutral zone, right? We kind of stayed back. We kind of let them make mistakes. And then when they got to the defensive zone, if you notice, Banjo had 2 shots, I think, maybe 3 from the point. We kind of let them have it. We kind of gave them the point and said, if they're going to score on the point, they're going to score on the point. We're taking the middle. And a couple times they got that puck in there, and it was just a jumbled mess of stuff. And it West Side stayed true, right? That kid's a goat.
Boy, that is a that's a point that we've talked about on the Sunday show a few times about letting them take. How many teams really go back to the point for shots to begin with, and then letting them take those shots because it's still a better chance on defense to stop that than it is to allow those passes to go after those guys and allow room in the middle for the forwards to move around more. You guys played the kind of defense that I think if anyone's smart, they'd want to play. Let those shots come from the point, and just stop the passing lanes and clog the middle. If you do that, chances are you're going to have that kind of game, and especially like you said, when you've got Westside back there, let those shots happen. If they get through, he's going to stop them anyway. And then if you're collapsing down low like the Bryn did, he helped out Westside on a few of those, stop from any extra opportunities from happening. So. I just think the way you guys play this defensively is the way a lot of teams really should, and not over pursue the point, the defenders who are waiting for a shot because, chances are we've seen how this plays, Six. Most teams just don't use their point shooting the way they should on offense.
Yeah, we know where we stand on our line, right? We're the third line.
Right.
We know our job, and it's to shut down the other team to not put pucks in the net.
Right.
And we have a lot this year not let that happen, and we start chasing pucks and we start doing stupid stuff. Our game is put the puck on net. You saw the goal Death scored. Right. I mean, it was a crap goal, right? We just kept throwing the puck at the dude constantly from every angle. He got it from the point. He got it from the right side. He got it from the left side. He got a couple up the middle. He got some wraps. I mean, he got it all.
Right.
And so the puck that went in was a slap shot, and it just snuck in, right? So, dude, I'm just I'm just fired up right now. I got a VG game in 20 minutes, and I'm like, I don't even want to fucking play.
You have a VG game, really?
Yeah. Like I'm like, so. Yeah, man, but it's I'm excited to listen to it with commentary. I've been part of the commentary games, but I've never been good enough to play in one.
Well, yeah, and we're gonna try to attempt here to show this goal that happened in the third period, and we're gonna start off right away from the face-off here and give you guys a chance to see this. I'll try and share it with you here so you can see it. But just coming right down and just blasting a shot on Zilla and getting an opportunity there. And
I'll go back, play that again.
We'll flip that again right from the face-off here so you can see it.
Yeah.
And again, just a play where, they come down. They're trying to get something going offensively. A good play.
Right there, the Death machine right there. Yeah, he just took it away from him.
Death made the whole play. He made a good defensive play. It's good to get them when they're trying to get in the zone, but after that you've got to collapse back. And Death made it. Took a shot, made a poke. You see it again there. Good play to knock the puck off the stick of Atomic, and then comes back the other way with a shot, beating Zilla to win this one. And, again, just a nice defensive play and a good shot on that one. And that's how you guys won the game. It took one good defensive play and then finding an opportunity where he's able to spring out, beat the defense. And, a shot like that typically doesn't, you could save those. But this is EA. Sometimes those blasts go right past you. And just a nice opportunity there for Death Machine. Unassisted goal there at 1:15 of the third period. And that's the game winner. So now you take on Toronto. You've got plans to make. And if we're lucky, we may see you on the show Sunday, unless you got kids playing baseball again.
Oh, the hell knows, man. I always have something. They're always doing something, man. I just want to individually give a shout out to all my guys: J-Rink, Raiders, Duff, DeBrin, Kachuk, Crosby, Noof as of now, all my D-men, BC. I mean, dude, this has been a crazy season. I have such a good group of guys in there that this couldn't have happened to a better group, right? To be going through there, BC, Dads, Ragu. I mean, all these people, Bean, K-Mac, Patches, Prime, and West, all these guys have worked really hard.
Right.
And we're excited about moving on to the next round. Like you said, it's house money. Let's go play some hockey and have some fun, right? So.
All right. Well, listen, best of luck to you, Six. Thanks for joining me tonight on the post game. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right. You've been listening to 6-9 with me on the post game show. This has been LG, AHL, PSN. I always kind of forget what it's called. But anyway, we've been bringing you the live game tonight between the Syracuse Crunch and the Rochester Americans. The Americans close the series out 4-2. One of the weirdest chapters that we've had here on League Gaming and the PSN side here in Season 7. Rochester moves on to play Toronto. We'll talk about all that this Sunday. But for now, for the game of the week and for 6-9, this is T-Sib saying so long. And we will talk to you on tomorrow night, actually, with the All-Star Game draft lottery. That starts at 7:30 p.m., so tune in for that. Talk to you folks later. Have a good night.